I heard you talking about being on you did the Royal Variety performance, which must have been...
Oh, yeah, that was terrifying. I hated it.
Did you?
I think I meant to say, what an honour. But it was absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
Because you have to, you get there for the whole day, and it was at the Royal Albert Hall, and they don't have many, they don't have enough dressing rooms for the amount of people that are on, so you get put in with just random people. So I was in with 2 lionesses and the Cirque du Soleil. And it's quite difficult to sort of find common ground between like a comedian, 2 lionesses, because the lionesses had just won the Euros. I'd just like to think I'm one. So I was like really fangirling over them, but then people would be practicing their like acrobats in this tiny, tiny room, and you're just there for the whole day. And eventually I was getting so nervous. I think only had to do like 10 minutes, and it gets cut down to 5 in the edit. And it was a routine I'd done over and over again, but you get so bloody nervous, and everybody's in black tie, so it doesn't feel like a normal gig where everybody comes in how they're comfortable. It's really stuffy. And I went to go and practice outside of this dressing room because it was such a bizarre vibe in there. I thought I need to just go over the routine. So I found this little corridor at the bottom of a staircase, and I was just practicing my routine, and then I heard somebody coming down the stairs, and I turned round, and it was Simon Cowell. And I'd never seen him obviously in real life before, but grown up with him on my telly all the time. Sure. He's absolutely tiny, isn't he? I mean, I know I'm tall, but he was coming down the steps, and he's so he still had like 5 steps to go. And I'd already gained the height advantage. So I'm stood, it was like, you know in Beauty and the Beast when he waits for it to come down the stairs? It was like, I just felt big and cumbersome. And he smiled the whole time whilst talking to me. And it's, I mean, I don't mean to be rude here, but it's quite an intense smile. Okay. And also you're aware, like your head is going the whole time, you're fucking Simon Cowell. And he just kept coming down his step, and then he got to stood in front of me, and all I could think was, you're really small, but don't say you're really small. And then I couldn't concentrate on my routine, and then this woman in a headset came out and was like, Maisie, you're up. And I just remember walking out thinking, Simon Cowell is so small. No one's talking about it. He's so small. And my mum and dad were in the audience, and as soon as I saw them afterwards, they were like, we're so proud. And I was like, Simon Cowell's so small.
It's a tough gig, though, traditionally.
Yeah,
comedians,
especially if you've just been thrown off by someone's height. It's a really tough gig.
Maybe they always send him in to throw the comedians off.
Yes, I think so. Do you know what? I'd been warned that it was a tough gig. When I was told that I'd got it, I was doing tour support for Josh Widdicombe, and I went, oh my God, I read it out. I was like, oh my God, I've got Royal Variety Show. And Josh went... Get ready. I was like, I thought that'd be good news, and he was like, it is tough. Yeah. It is tough. Because there's a lot of, I don't know if I should be saying this, but whatever. The tickets are like £300 to go. So it's full of like people in very posh suits wanting to be seen on the telly at a very posh event. So they're not really listening. They're sort of like, well, they've got that Simon Cowell glazed over smile like this, but they're constantly aware of the cameras on them because they want to be seen on the telly. So it's a really strange, it felt a bit sort of Truman Show being on. It didn't feel real in a nice way. Really strange. Yeah. Really strange.
Good, but you know, it's not a gig that they give out to anyone. I mean, I don't think I'm the right actor. I think they've made the right choice, so I'm not too worried about it. But it is, you know, again, it's very impressive to get that so soon, I think, as well in your careers.
It felt wicked. Like, and once I'd done the set, they then had Nile Rodgers and Chic, they'll be on after me tonight. I'd sort of just calmed down from being on the Raw Variety Show, and I was back in that weird little corridor, and they were like, "Oh, can you go out and play maracas?" I thought she was having me on. She was like, "No, we're doing a bit where we have other acts from tonight going out and playing with Chic." So it went. Now Rogers, Al Murray, 2 Lionesses, Sister Sledge, me. And I was just there playing maracas. And I remember thinking at that point, this is a weird job. Like, remember this. Try and keep this shit going for as long as you can.
Did they just make that decision during the show?
Yeah.
It sounds like that's
yeah,
great.
yeah. So, like, they have these intense rehearsals where it's like, regiment, you will be on at, 7:37 till 7:42. And then on the actual, like, when it's live, they're like, right, off you go. Grab a pair of maracas, you're up with Nile Rodgers.
They must think we're not. If the person goes badly, we're not going to let them go with the maracas. That must be a sign.
Oh,
you've
yeah,
done
maybe, actually.
Because they wouldn't. If someone's died, they're not going to go get that comedian back on with some maracas.
That's humiliating, isn't it?
Yeah,
having a bad gig and then coming on and shaking a maraca. That is
can't
bleak.
even shake maracas.
That is bleak, actually. Yeah.
So you must have done well.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I'd clocked now who didn't get asked to bring a maraca.
But nearly,
I'd have been going up going.
nearly everyone I've talked to thinks they died on that show. So
Well, this is it. I think I'd so over-prepared for it to be a terrible gig that then when it went fine, I felt like I'd smashed it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but it is a gig that is sort of, I think, universally known to be a tricky one.
Did you get to meet the royal family? Who was the?
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was.
I mean, it wasn't Prince Andrew,
no,
was it? No.
No.
Okay,
What's it called?
Edward.
That one. Yeah, Edward.
Wow. But you're not going to get out of it. Ask back now. Look at that.
No.
Who was that? Who's the one? The bold one.
No, but I'm sorry. It was the first time that.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, I just had a fiver that it would be Will and Kate with my dad.
Wow.
So
that would have been all right.
Yeah, and
Anne would have been okay, right? Princess Anne would have been okay.
I don't think we'd have had a lot to say. I think we're quite different. Not that me and Edward were kindred spirits. They were nice, but it's such forced chat. It's really strange. It's really strange.
Anne's the only one I've ever met and spoken to.
Was she all right?
Yeah, she was good. It was me and Ben Shepherd from Tipping Point.
Oh. That's a strange group. You, Ben Shepherd, and the Princess Royal.
This was my wife. And his wife, I think, as well.
This wasn't on Tipping Point. She wasn't there. And Princess Anne got drop zone 3, please.
No, it was in her house. It was in her house, Buckingham Palace, in her house where she lives.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a strange evening that I'd sort of been invited. I think I've talked about this before, but I'd done a lot of work with Scope, but the guy who used to work with Scope then moved to. Now I'm going to get the wrong. I wasn't even involved with the charity. They were having a charity dinner and I wasn't involved with the charity. Stephen Hawking was there. Quite a lot of people who've subsequently died were there. Victoria Wood was there. And I was sat at the end with Greg Davies was there.
Oh.
And we were sat at the end going, why are we here? We haven't done anything for this charity. But it's nice though.
It's also really strange just standing in a line waiting for somebody to come over and shake hands with, like, it just feels really unnatural.
Yeah.
But you're meant to pretend it's a really normal thing to do. I was next to Frank Skinner and David Baddiel, who had been on singing "It's Coming Home" in celebration of the Euros, and after they chatted to me, they then chatted to them too, and Sophie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sophie went. She went, "Oh, you must be sick to death of singing that song." That's what she opened with. And I was like, that's fucking rude, isn't it? You invited them. What else are they going to sing as well? Do you know what I mean?
Let's open it up. Do one of your other numbers, Baddiel and Skinner.
How weird would it have been if they had Baddiel and Skinner and they just sang a bit of Enya? Like... It's bizarre.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the royal family though as well. It's a tough life.
Yeah.
I think it is.
That won't go down well in Brighton.
I don't like them, but I wouldn't like to have their. If I feel like they're in a prison, a gilded prison, full of nice food and stuff.
Yeah, I'd go in the gilded prison.
Yeah, would you go
yeah.
in? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's not nice.
But if I just thought I would maybe meet one of the ones that would at least be in the Crown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want one where you can watch The Crown and be like, met him, and it's like, there's an episode where he's like 4, and then you never see him again.
You'd prefer like Michael Fagan, the bloke who broke into the Queen's bedroom, who gets he gets a whole episode of The Crown.
I'd have loved to meet him. Yeah. Would have had better chat.
He wanked in her ear. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. It's not in The Crown. It's not in The Crown.
Can't put that in.
That's what I heard. That's what the.
I can't believe I've sat here terrified of if I'm talking too much about the royal family than you've just said.
Unfortunately, the Queen,
she's dead, Richard.
The Queen's dead. She can't verify or deny it.
Can I just say, I've come on here and you've been like, oh, your career's going really well, and you're about to cock it up.
Yeah, I'm hoping to. That's why you're here.